Good morning.
Here we are yet again.
I like that you said cheers. I want to
Cheers.
start saying that.
Well, in the UK, everyone says cheers as thank you. I do know one American who I work with that she says cheers in her emails.
Yeah.
And that is the most British thing ever.
So I want to start doing that. I recently tested it out. So I don't know where I got this, but I've been saying warmly.
You've always said warmly.
That's really weird.
No, when you worked at Playboy,
I
you
always said that.
Yeah, so when I lived in the UK, I would either sign off emails as cheers or many thanks. I don't know. And actually, my old colleagues, like when I was like a grad, used to bully me for saying many thanks in emails.
I like many thanks.
Now I just say thanks and then comma my name.
Do you think I should do cheers? What I've been testing out the last 2 weeks is XX, DB.
Oh, like kiss, kiss.
Like kiss,
I
kiss,
also
DB.
know one other American I work with. She does kisses at the end of her emails, which again is in the UK, everyone, even in business, will do kisses at the end of their emails, which I find so funny. I used to too. Mm-hmm. But I do know one American, she'll do a kiss at the end of her emails, and I think it's so cute.
Okay, so I know we haven't even introed the episode yet, but just to give this tidbit, there's a British woman I work with at work. Okay. And she's just such a fucking badass. She's not on my team, but she is just unhinged. She's saying what's on her mind. She is saying on emails big hugs and kisses, just funny cutesy things. And I just was why am I stifling my personality, pretending to cosplay so corporate with sterile emails? So I decided 2 weeks ago, I think I'm just gonna bring my personality back, and if people don't like it, I just don't think I care.
I think this really ties into the episode. But on that note, I would say that with me, I think I just say thanks because it's just universal to sign off everything, regardless of who it is. But with my personal, I have people in my life that I send emails to. Yeah. And when I send emails to them, I will literally sign off with exactly how I feel, which I think is so it's cute.
Nice. Remember you got in trouble for using emojis?
Yes.
We can cut that if we can't.
No. We can say it.
That's just weird to me because I'm throwing emojis. I'm saying have a fab day, you cutie pie.
My industry, we're not curing cancer. We're working marketing. Throwing a little smiley is fine. I think if we were doctors and we had to send really,
Yes, or a prescription.
Yes, a kiss would be weird. But
correct.
A smiley.
I think why we've been successful in our careers is because we added personality because it makes you very memorable.
I think we're memorable with or without. Fuck. It's you could turn us down.
That's fair.
You could turn us down 10 decibels and we would still be fucking hard to forget. Yes. So on that note, let's introduce this episode.
Let's do it.
Devon and I realize that we have kind of spoken about confidence a little bit here and there, but we haven't dedicated a whole episode to one of the biggest topics I think nowadays, which is confidence and self-confidence.
Yes.
So when I was thinking about this episode, I also had to do some research on what actually is the difference between confidence and self-esteem. Do you know?
No.
Well, there
I love
we go.
that you said that.
Every day is a school day here.
Love.
So confidence is your ability to believe yourself regarding ability. So for example, I am confident this podcast will succeed because I know that we can speak really funnily and really confidently.
Yeah, and bring the vibe.
And that is to do with our ability. Mm-hmm. Self-esteem is believing in yourself regardless of ability and success, and it's all tied to your self-worth. So it's even if we fail with this podcast, we're still bad bitches who are funny.
Yeah.
So self-esteem is much more about a general view of you, and confidence is more niched into an ability or something to do with an activity. So with that in mind, I think I actually have way more confidence than self-esteem, I think, because I think no, I don't know. It's so hard for me to even no, I actually think I have more self-esteem than confidence. What about you?
I didn't know the difference between the two. I think I have a lot of confidence, and anyone that knows me would say I'm very confident. Mm-hmm. I think what I don't have is the self-esteem of the inner track talk, where I have to remind myself a lot to believe in myself.
Right.
But outwardly, I'm exuding that I'm confident.
See, I think I'm the opposite, where I think I have a lot of self-esteem in that I don't tie my self-worth to like career and things that I can't like, you know.
Yeah.
Like I am very loving of myself and I believe I'm a really good person. And yeah, I think I regard myself highly. But confidence, I think sometimes, because I think it's easy to mistake extroversion and like ability to command a room and be liked with confidence, because you can still do that and be like, fuck, can I even do this? And one thing I've learned in recent years is that I just don't, and maybe that comes with being a woman, I feel like I often don't have the balls that men have or other people in my life have to be like unapologetically like ask for something. And sometimes I like really am like, no, that's not going to happen, so I'm not going to ask for it. Like that's kind of a silly like.
Yeah.
I think sometimes I just need to be confident and be like, I have nothing to lose, like be delusional. I think I need more delusion.
So the most successful men and women I know in my life are confidently delusional.
Right.
So they wake up and they're like, why would you yeah, like of course it's gonna happen for me.
Like
what?
Our president.
Yeah. No, literally.
If our president can do it, fucking so can we.
Yeah, because it's like this feeling of just like, well, why not? Like, of course this is gonna be fine.
I think I lack that. But I often think about, you know, whilst I do want more delusion, the people who are so deluded and who are successful, I think we know many in our lives, I'm happy for that success, but I'm also just like cringed out a little bit. I don't know. Maybe I'm just so hyper aware of things, and
I think we're thinking of the same person who's delusional.
Yes, we're thinking of the same person.
Because that's why
she's succeeding.
She's fucking succeeding. Yeah. And as much as I could shit talk her till the cows come home.
We've always said she's the best marketer of herself.
Yes, because she is so confident and she gives not one fuck. And when she wakes up, she's like, I am the smartest, hottest, most personable person in the room.
Which
my
she's not,
opinion counts.
But again, she can self-market herself. So I think I think I need that confidence.
Yeah.
But then when it comes to like, if I walk in a room, can I speak to people? Can I command the room? Can I like be this bubble of joy and light like you? Yes, we can do that. But maybe there is like an absence of more belief that we can actually get the outcome we want, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think it like what I think a lot about is like self-perceived confidence, because the viewer of our podcast who had asked this question about confidence, she has known me for a while, and she is like, you are the most confident person I know. You're like my role model. Like I really look up to you in that way. And then I was thinking, oh my God, I don't feel like confident like that at all.
Right.
But I think if anyone asked, they would say like, oh, you are so confident. Yeah. But it's because I'm extroverted, loud, and I am not shy.
Yes.
Or like if I had to do a public speech in front of 1,000 people, I'd be like, great, like let's do it. No issue. But I think internally I would finish the speech and then I'd be like nitpicking myself apart for weeks where I could not sleep.
That's what I mean. I don't think the opposite of confidence is shy, because you can still be shy and have belief that you can get the outcome you want.
Yeah.
So I think there is a world in which you and I are very, very confident, but there is a part of us that wonders, did we get that outcome that we wanted? Can we get the outcome that we want?
Yeah.
And I think there is a lack of delusion there that we can actually do those things. I think I think my self-esteem is good, mainly. Obviously, we're human, and there are days when it's like, you know, I often think with my career, I've gotten myself to a really great place. And I don't get imposter syndrome. And I think I've said this before, where I don't think I deserve those things. But I sometimes feel like I'm like, do they think I'm better than I actually am? And I don't want to think like that, because ultimately, like, I do think I'm good. But there is those thoughts that do creep in.
Yeah. A friend of mine had actually called me the other day, and they were like, I'm having crazy imposter syndrome and it's really affecting me with like my work, and I don't think this is the right spot for me. And I was like, oh my God, I never feel like that. And then after she said it, I went to work the next day and had imposter syndrome all day.
And you're like, jokes.
Yeah. I was like, oh.
I will say this. Sometimes we do giggle because we'll say things on this podcast in the moment, and then we look back and we're like, wait, we're such hypocrites.
Yeah, like, literally.
Like, I am so confident, and then like we'll cry the next day about not having confidence.
Yeah, and I'm like, I am the ugliest, fattest, dumbest girl in the world. Sorry. I'm cracking up. Can I tell one story I thought of?
Yes.
Okay. So this is just fucking rogue story, but basically when we were at Playboy, obviously we're like seeing more like porn and like sexy women. And my ex at the time was like obsessed with me bleaching my ass.
So your ex is fucking trash.
Yeah. But so he kept bringing it up.
I remember when you bleached your
It was so funny because I remember thinking it was like very normal, and like I don't remember how I told you, but I was just like, oh yeah, like have you ever done this, or like do you know anyone, or like I'm gonna do it. And then I like was bleaching my asshole, and I was just like, huh,
what am I
okay, yeah. And then I like had Googled it, and there's like a lot of like bad side effects that can happen. And so then, okay, fast forward like 2 years, and now I'm with my boyfriend, and so I brought it up a couple of weeks ago. I was just like, oh, this is so funny. Like I was telling him the story, and he was really, really shook. Yeah. And then he
would never tell you to bleach your asshole.
And then like he had told a friend. He was like, my girlfriend did this. Like it makes me really sad. Because then the friend, he basically admitted, he's like, yeah, I had told your story. I hope you're not upset. But I just was really like shocked that like that's the like extent that you would go to because of an insecurity. And he was like, were you doing a lot of anal? Because like, why is this man so concerned about your asshole? And I was just like, you know, at that time in my life, that was actually a very real insecurity of mine that I like grew into my head as being like a need to fix that I hyper fixated on. Where now 2 years later, I'm like, this is actually the craziest shit ever.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with bleaching your asshole for shits and gigs. So I'm like, we might have all done it here and there. But I don't think you should do it for a boy that's telling you to bleach your asshole. And also, no one should be bleaching their assholes. I'm just saying, if you want to do it, like, yeah, great. Yeah. But like, I don't think you should do it for a boy.
Yeah. But that's what I just am like, for me, people
do
think
it for a girl.
Like, facts. Then
they deserve
approved.
That. Girls deserve that. Yeah. Boys do not deserve your bleach.
Boys don't deserve anything.
They literally don't deserve anything. Okay, on that note, do you think that confidence is, and we always talk about nature versus nurture, do you think it's inherited? Or do you think that actually if you're not a confident person, it's something you can build?
I think it's something you can build. I think for me, I was always so bad at school where I was like, do I have a learning disorder? So like to counteract being really bad at school, I was very confident. Yeah. So like I would be like not the class clown, but just like always very
have
fun.
To overcompensate.
Yeah. So and then I'm like, you know, friends with all the teachers, and I think like to overcompensate for that, I had to teach myself to be super confident because then it's almost distracting. Yeah. So I think it can be learned. Right. What do you think?
I think, sure, it can be learned. I think that, for example, I'm going to give you an example. She's going to hate me for, like, bringing her up. But my dear best friend, who is the hottest, the smartest.
Yeah.
Like, she is, if I had her looks and her talent, I'd be like, fucking let's go.
Yeah.
And I do think she has a confidence issue. And it really annoys me, to be quite honest. Because 20 years later, I'm like, we're still fucking here. Yeah. Like, I don't have time for this because it's been 20 years and you're amazing.
Yes.
And it got to me so much one day that I literally paid for her to do the confidence course with Serena Kerrigan.
Yeah, love.
And she like went fucking on Zoom with Serena.
Love.
And I was like, did you learn anything? And she's just like, I mean, she's very confident, but you know, it's so I
love that you did that. Yeah. I also just love Serena Kerrigan.
Yes. And so I was like, go to this woman, like see if you can learn something. I think you can learn, but I think that there are things about your nature that you can't change. So for example, serotonin and brain chemistry, you inherit that shit. That's why so many people with depression, anxiety is actually quite genetic, and you might have like 5 people in your family with depression, alcoholism. So I think that there are some things that play into confidence, which for sure is probably like serotonin and anxiety, that actually might not all be learned. I think it's actually like deep rooted.
Yeah.
And I think like in terms of your temperament, some people might be warmer, some people might be more extroverted, which I think can be genetic too. Culturally, I think that not that this is to do with your nature, but it's to do with things you can't really help. So, for example, growing up in Brazil, everyone's fucking like, honestly, I feel everyone's confident, everyone's loud and extroverted. And going to the UK, people were like, this bitch is crazy. And I'm like, no, I'm just Brazilian. Like, we are all like this. Sometimes with my wife too, I'm like, I'm Brazilian and an only child. Like, I'm not this, I'm not that. Like, I'm just Brazilian and an only child, was an only child.
Yeah.
So I think it's a mix. I think it's definitely a mix. I think, though, if you have your nature going against you, I think if you really put your mind to it, there are definitely things you can learn.
Yeah.
But ultimately, I was talking to someone this week. I was guest lecturing at USC.
I got invited to guest lecture.
Fuck yes. Yes. Sex studies?
No, branding.
Okay, love. And this girl was like asking me how did I do something, and I was like, the only answer I had was charisma.
Yeah.
And then I was like, fuck, I shouldn't tell someone to be charismatic because what if they're not? And then I was thinking about like, can you learn to be charismatic? Because I think charisma is such a natural trait. I don't know if you can learn to be charismatic. It's such like to me, like,
I don't think you can
thing.
learn to be charismatic.
Yeah. And then I think finally there are things that can happen to you in your childhood, which again isn't nature, it's more nurture, but it's again like it's outside your locus of control. What happens to you in childhood, you know, you might have been a really confident person and then you might be abused, you might go through really hard things that kind of knocks your confidence, and that you carry that to adulthood. So I think it's a mix, honestly, but yeah.
My like main thought bubble I had when I knew we were talking about this goes back to how we were on like an episode or two ago, we were talking about your job and how you work with men and how it's been like great. And I was thinking like, are women versus women just like the ultimate confidence killer? Oof. And it's like, I've been really feeling more and more how I'm like, wow, like women just hate other women. And it's like, I think the older I get, the more I see it, and it's so glaring. And I'm just like, what the fuck is wrong? Because like, I'm like, why do women hate other women so deeply that like they want to bring them down and see them fail?
I have some theories.
Okay.
So there is this really funny TikTok that I've sent to like so many people, which is this black woman who says, you know, you would think that as a black minority, because I think she was also gay or something, you would want, let's say, another black woman who's gay as your boss because you understand the struggles and you'd be all pally. But she goes, all I want is a nice middle-aged white guy with a family to be my boss. Yeah. And this is the reason why. I wonder, and again, I don't know if this is like the truth, but I do wonder if because certain women, especially if you haven't had certain privileges, if you've been through some sort of struggle, you don't want your peer who's also a woman to go, you want them to have the same struggle as you did.
Yes.
Because God forbid they have success with an easy ride.
Yes.
So if you've had some sort of struggle as a woman, I think it would be hard for you to hope that your peer doesn't have that struggle. I think there's something so innate in you that says, no, they have to go through what I went through. And if they don't, it's not like a real path. Kind of like the Ozempic thing.
I was thinking about it so much.
Like if I went, which by the way, this isn't me, like, but let's say I had been at the gym every day for 5 years and lost 30 pounds. And then some bitch comes along and takes Ozempic and loses 30 pounds in 2 months. I wouldn't be thrilled. But maybe, I mean, personally, I don't give a fuck. But like, that's what's happening. I think women want other women to go through the same struggles that they did. Personally, I don't have that feel. Like, I really don't. And I'm being completely honest. Like, I really don't care too much. I think I have an empathy issue.
No, like, so I deeply, from the bottom of my heart, do not ever feel like that.
No.
I really don't.
But maybe that, okay, maybe though, and this is going deep. You know, there are many people in our lives who are very empathetic. And I don't think we have the same level of empathy as these people, which is a double-edged sword. Because on a good, like, on the plus, we don't get that, like, we don't care too much about what people are doing and how they feel. But obviously, as a consequence, we also might not have that much empathy for someone, which is not always a good thing. Yeah. But the good side of it is that we also don't really care much about.
Yeah, I like when I think even at my job right now, there's like 2 women who are like kind of my same position, but in different departments. And I think they're like so cool. Yeah. And I'm always just like, wow, you guys are so smart, so pretty, great style. Yeah. So fucking good at everything you do. Like, I don't ever feel jealous of them. If anything, I'm like, oh, I'm like learning a lot from you. But sometimes I wonder if I'm self-obsessed.
But that's what I mean with the empathy thing. I think we are 2 people that we err on the side of more self-obsessed than on the empathy side. I think I have extreme empathy when it's to do with suffering. Like, if people are suffering, then I'm like, fuck. Like, I mean, there are so many TikToks that I'm just bawling my eyes out. Old people, kids, animals. Like, I don't like suffering, and I think I'm highly empathetic with that. But when it comes to just, like, nothing, you know, when it's nothing bad, I don't think I have that much empathy.
Yeah, it's not, like, rocking your boat.
No. And that's a good thing and a bad thing. It's a good thing because I'm not, like, I don't really give a shit if someone has an easy ride or if someone has something I don't, like, you know, I don't really, it doesn't affect me.
I think with the easy ride, like, my biggest learning, like, even this past weekend, I was catching up with, like, some girlfriends, and they were saying, like, something, like, on the outside, their life is very idyllic. And then they're just sharing, like, some shit that's going on behind the scenes. And it is just, to me, like, I always feel like even when I think someone had a really easy go, eventually there is a crack.
Or they probably don't, and it's all a facade. You really don't know what people are going through. Like, oftentimes I see, you know, with Instagram, all these amazing couples and all these amazing girls. And I just know it's not what it seems. Yeah. Like, I just know that when things look too perfect, it's not what it seems. And we just have to bear that in mind.
Yeah.
As it relates to confidence, and if we think about confidence in, like, different areas of life, so, like, social confidence, workplace confidence, creative confidence, physical confidence, where do you think you are strongest in and, like, weakest in?
It's a great question.
I could answer that for you. Okay. Like, for you,
what would you say?
I think you have very low physical confidence because you're stunning, and sometimes you're like, I have cortisol face. I do though. Yeah, like, again, fuck that.
Yeah.
I think you have extreme workplace confidence. I think you have extreme social confidence. Yeah. And I think creative, I think you're probably more creative than you give yourself credit for. Yeah. And then I think you should lean into that more and be more confident about that.
Thank you. I think you're very correct. I feel like with people in work, I'm just so, like, zero stress. I think, though, like, with confidence for me, with, like, the physical, it's very learned. Because, like, my mom will hate that I'm saying this, but, like, she is so hard on herself. And, like, I had posted a photo of her the other day, and, like, I literally got, like, 50 DMs.
And your mom is, like, the tiniest
and then
human.
I told her, I was like, oh my God, Mom, like, my DM is like a floodgate right now for you. She's like, oh, yeah.
Your mom is hot.
And, like, she's always, like, being nitpicky about herself. So I think for me, it's, like, very learned to not just, like, it's like, you know, when someone gives you a compliment, like, just be like,
thank you. I know. Yeah.
You know, instead of me being like, oh, no, actually, blah, blah, blah. And I know it's, like, an off-putting thing to do. So, like, I am working on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. What would you say yours are?
I think I'm pretty good with physical confidence, which, again, I've had to do some work on. But I'm, like, very neutral about my physicality too. Like, I'm not, like, over the moon. Like, I'm not like I'm the hottest shit on earth, which honestly at some point I was. I think at my peak at 17, I'm like, damn.
But isn't it funny? Because, like, I just think you are so fucking hot, and I always take weird pictures of you because I'm just like, she's so pretty. I have to just like take secret pics.
That's very nice.
But you know what I mean? It's just like so.
I think I've had more physical confidence than I do now, but I also don't. It doesn't keep me up at night.
Yeah.
I think if anything, what keeps me up at night is the creative confidence and the confidence. What we kind of spoke about at the beginning of this episode of like, really, it does keep me up at night where I'm like, I need more delusion in me. I need more guts to just ask for things and be unapologetic, to be like, just go for it, you know?
Yeah.
Obviously, socially, I'm very confident. I can speak to anyone. I can make any friends. Workplace, I'm also so confident. I think it's just really having more of like gumption to just fucking have more delusion and like really believe that anything I want, I can make happen. I truly don't think I'm there yet. I don't think, you know, when like my parents always told me like, anything you want, you can make happen. Like, the world's your oyster. Like, they really gave me that confidence to be like, fucking go for it.
Yeah.
Like, I could say to them, I want to be an astronaut. And they were like, okay, you can do it.
Right.
I could say to them, I want to do anything. And they'd be like, you can do it.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think I have that belief.
What do you think, if you had to like kind of like spell it out, is holding you back from feeling like that?
I think, like we said, I think it's an overbearing self-awareness. I think that I worry that I don't want to come across as, like, for example, the people that we know that we cringe at when they are delusional, knowing that I cringe at those people, I don't want that towards me. But ultimately, who cares if I then get the outcome that I want? Yeah. Then it's just like, yeah, then it's just getting through that.
Well,
you
it's
know?
like everything is cringe until it's not.
Right. And cringe can get you there. So yeah, I think for me, it's the creative confidence and like the delusion that I think I lack. But elsewhere, I think I'm good. And I think I have good self-esteem. Like, I have a lot of self-worth that isn't tied to my career or my output, my productivity. But when it comes to relationships, oh man, maybe it's something I'm going to struggle with for like lifelong, but just really wanting to be someone's favorite person. And like
in your relationship, in your marriage, or like in your friendships?
I think historically, no, friendships, I don't give a fuck. Like, I'm happy to not be anyone's favorite person.
It's a lot of work.
It's
a lot of work.
Don't call me, no joke. Yeah, I think it's always with me. It has been to do with love and being like, is that person willing to break rules for me? Is that person willing to fucking lose everything for me? Like, I'm just such a romantic and just wanting to really have someone to prove to me that I'm like the chosen one. And that's so fucked up. Like, I don't, like, they don't need to, they can just love me healthily and like.
I think though it's because you are like that.
Yes.
Like, because you ride so fucking hard, you need to feel that from someone else.
Yes. I was talking to someone the other day and it just hit me. I was like, I'm such a high effort partner that historically I've really struggled finding with someone that is as high effort as me when it comes to love. But that's not a normal thing. So it's very hard to find someone like that because it's not a normal thing. So I've had to like really focus on how else that person like serves me and like provides and loves me, which is not the ways that I love them. So I think when it came to love, I've always been, my self-worth has been like, you know, do they actually love me? Am I enough? Like, because I've just had this like warped vision of how like my self-worth is tied to like, what they give, if that makes sense. And
no, it does.
It's kind of complicated.
I think it's always going to be an uphill battle because, tell me if you think I'm wrong, but because you are such a like do or die when it comes to relationships and you want the confidence to know that the other person feels the same way, even if they met you fully at what you wanted, don't you think then you'd be like, but I want more?
Yeah. And I've had that. Like, I think my ex-boyfriend was very like that. Like, he would do anything for me. He fucking kissed the ground I walked on. And still, I was like, I don't like him. Like, you know? So it's like, that shouldn't be the measure of a successful relationship. Like, that isn't it. And in my marriage now, I would say that my wife is not someone who, you know, is as expressive as I am, is as, you know, on surface gives me the things that I might give her, but she gives me other things and makes me feel loved in other ways. Yeah. And I've had to recalibrate that and know that she loves me more than anything and like have that self-worth. But yeah, I think that with love, I'm very do or die, which is scary. So you are like that too.
No, I am like that totally. And I was at dinner with a guy friend. He's a very close friend. And we were chatting and I was like, yeah, you know, I was kind of being like self-deprecating. I was like, you know, finally I've like broken the cycle of like only dating losers. And I was like, what does that say about me? Like, clearly, like I have some fucking massive issue that I'm just like hoarding losers for like my entire 20 years of existence, you know? And he was like, whoa, 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 like, don't talk about yourself like that. He was like, I think that you probably get some sort of thrill or confidence from turning someone who you think would normally not like you into liking you.
Like the challenge.
Yeah. And he was like, I think that it drives you and that's what like kept you doing it. Because it's like everyone could be like, oh, this person, he's not ready. Like he's just like fucking around. And to me, I'm like, no, I'm going to make him like commit.
I think there is psychologically, they explain how oftentimes, and that's, you know, breaking negative patterns of going for people that you want to fix or that you want to turn. Because then you'd feel like you succeeded in doing something. And maybe that is to do with childhood, or it's not a good thing though. It's not a good thing.
It's like the dopamine rush I get though from it. And I would look at myself in the mirror when I was with those people though and feel like,
I wouldn't say they were losers. I would say they were toxic. They weren't losers. They were very successful. They were very smart people. Yeah. But they were toxic and they were abusive, some of them. Yeah. I wouldn't call them losers. I would call them monsters. Actually, one wasn't a monster. He was just gay. Baby girl.
Not okay.
Like they weren't losers. Like you wouldn't meet them and be like, oh, you're a loser. Like they're very successful. They have money. They're like driven and ambitious. But they're toxic and they're abusive and they're like manipulative and they're, you know, they're monsters. For me, on the other hand, I had this epiphany the other day where I was like, why is it that the most heartbroken I've ever been in my life when it came to love was basically the woman that broke my heart the most was the most ordinary woman. Like, what a sad realization. It wasn't even like someone extraordinary who was amazing and they broke my heart and I couldn't have them. It's like, no, my heart was broken by the most ordinary person I've ever fucking met.
I love when you were saying that. I was like,
like boring, weird, slightly autistic, probably. Actually, definitely autistic. Like 6 out of 10. Boring. Have I said that? Like, just the most ordinary
like the
person.
drawing paint on the
coward.
wall.
Yeah, like I'm like,
coward is crazy. It's crazy.
Like I should have been heartbroken by someone fucking amazing, but alas, that was not the case.
R.I.P.
Yeah. So how does this all link in with confidence? Back to the episode after the brief therapy session.
Okay. Oh my God. So I'm cracking up because
basically Devon and I do this podcast because it's therapy. It's the therapy we can't afford. We just do it right
and
here.
I think that it helps other people have therapy.
I hope so.
Me too. The other thing I said, like, we touched on this already, but it was like intrusive thoughts and jealousy and how like women can have frenemies and like how I think that all stems back to like your confidence in navigating who you are. Because I think like for me, something I've really like learned is environmentally who I'm around in my community, I can be like a chameleon and like morph into like different versions of myself.
Oh, I love that. Yeah.
And so I know I'm like that. And it's why I have such a like diverse, like robust group of friends of all ages and all backgrounds. But sometimes like I wonder like, do I really need to be like morphing like a chameleon into all these groups? Or like, should I just show up as me? I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think that's why we get along because I do the same. I'm very adaptive and I'm a chameleon and I can morph into any group. But I do think you show up as yourself with everyone.
Yeah.
I really do. And I think that's why they like you because you might be bringing something different to their group.
Yeah.
I think I've always struggled with that I don't really fit into a box. You know, I wanted to be the soccer girl and I wanted to be the travel girl and I wanted to be the musical theatre girl. And I wanted to stick to like, I was like, just pick a fucking box, like be something and stick with that for life. And I couldn't because I was a polymath and I was like, I want to do all these things. So I had to bring all those versions of myself to each group. And, you know, either you're accepted or not. But I think ultimately that's why those people might like you is because you're dimensional and, you know, you might bring something different. But I like that.
Yeah, it's just something I think about because I'm like, oh, I wonder if like I'm not confident in myself and that's why I'm like doing this chameleon situation.
No, I think the chameleon situation is who you are.
Yeah.
I think you're very multidimensional. There's so many like different, I couldn't even explain to someone if I tried.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Well, I feel like that about you though too. So I guess that's
try
right.
and explain me. Okay, to finish this off,
Yeah.
this is okay. I've always struggled with when people are like, describe yourself in 3 words.
Impossible.
Like, what?
Yeah. No.
I can't. We couldn't. We're just like,
there's no way.
Too much.
Yeah.
I need more words.
I need more words.
I need
too.
pictures.
What would
I need
be your
songs.
number 1 word?
Fuck. No, that's not the word. Free?
I love that. That's like a very dynamic word to choose.
I think I'm very free.
Yeah, you
but
are.
I also relentless.
I love that.
Sexy.
Those are great words.
No, I couldn't think of 3 though. What about you? What's your word?
I would say like resilient.
Yeah.
Quirky.
Sunshine. Oh, I love quirky. I
Yeah.
think that's a great word to describe
Yeah,
you.
I think I'm quite quirky and giggly.
Giggly and very loud. Very loud.
Very loud, baby.
Okay, well, on that lovely note,
Yeah.
we shall end here. But
Okay.
tune in when we are going to... This is kind of our next one's a part 2.
Yeah.
Where, related to confidence, we're also going to be speaking about jealousy.
Love.
And all that comes with
This
that.
is a perfect part 2.
Yes.
Stay
Tune
tuned,
in.
sexy bitches.
Bye.